Good morning. Commedia dell'Arte is a unique form of drama which developed in Italy during the early part of the 16th century. And during the 16th, 17th, and 18th centuries, it spread all over Europe. Its influence was rather great. It was felt in the north as far as Sweden, where pictures have come from the Drottningholm Court Theater. Palace frescoes have been found in Czechoslovakia. Even in England, in 1595, this advertisement was printed. 1595, you remember, was the beginning of a rather important playwriting period in England, the Elizabethan period. The young Shakespeare was writing at this time. And there's no doubt that the influence of Commedia was important to Shakespeare. Midsummer Night's Dream and The Tempest have elements of Commedia dell'Arte. In France, Molière, the greatest comic playwright of his age, was managing an acting company in competition with these players. Now, who were they? Who were these Italian comedians? Basically, Commedia dell'Arte means comedy that is professionally improvised. The full name, Commedia dell'Arte all'improvviso, or Commedia a soggetto, improvised or comedy according to a theme. In other words, they didn't memorize lines. They simply worked on situations, on plot, on a general subject, but they didn't memorize their lines. The Italian comedians worked pretty much on the basis of a family. Husband and wife, brother and sister, went traveling all over Europe in these wagons, living together, acting together like gypsies. And they worked and developed a kind of rapport. They were able to be familiar with each other, with the scenes, with the ideas. And naturally enough, if a certain piece of business worked well with one audience, they kept it, did a variation on it, but they used it again and again. These pieces of business, or jokes, were known as lazzi, L-A-Z-Z-I. Basically, as these traveling groups would come into a town, they would set up a temporary stage right in the town square. The action would be, for the most part, a combination of acrobatics, music, all of the different types, and let us not forget also the mountebank, because the hard sell was current in this day as well. All in all, the Commedia was an important, vital force in the formation of Renaissance drama following the Dark Ages. Commedia spans the centuries from Roman comedy in the year 300 through the Dark Ages into the Renaissance, the work of Shakespeare, Molière, Goldoni in Italy, Lope de Vega in Spain, and right to the present, the art of mime and pantomime, as in the works of Charlie Chaplin or Marcel Marceau. Even the costume and makeup of Marcel Marceau goes back to Commedia. I'd like to introduce now a little exercise in a sort of commedia. This is used in acting classes where actors are given a subject, no lines to remember, but simply a subject or a situation, and they improvise. Two students from East Los Angeles College, Dan Gordon and Bill Gergens, are waiting with a bag of tricks on the table in front of them. I have in this bag a number of objects. I'm going to just dump them on the coffee table, and from these objects, the actors will choose something to improvise.
All right, sir. Will you hold this end of the line for me here? I know this is going to be a little bit of an inconvenience, too, but I really have something worthwhile seeing.
Yes, what is it?
Ladies and gentlemen, we have for you a real treat today. The only tightrope walking flea in the United States today. His name is Cedric. Now, Cedric is going to walk the tightrope.
I'm a little skeptical of this.
Well, I've trained this flea for a matter of 15 years, and he's really
a
okay.
little costume and everything.
He's
huh?
little clothes, wants some little boots.
Yeah, that's
Wife
great.
made those for him.
Tremendous.
All right, okay, Cedric, take it away. Now he's going to walk across the tightrope. He's going to exercise now the somersault on the tightrope. Watch him go. Watch him go.
There
There
he
he goes.
Son of a gun.
How about that?
That's great.
Huh?
That's tremendous.
Huh? That's not bad. All right,
very good.
Cedric, let's keep walking down the tightrope now. He's going to walk around, turn back, okay. Now a double flip over the rope and back on.
Oh.
And there he goes.
Oh, yeah.
And down, Mike.
That's
How
great.
about that?
That's
huh?
fantastic.
Now for the big finale, okay,
Uh-huh.
Cedric, I want you to do a little bit of a soft shoe. 1, 2, 3.
That's great. That's fantastic. Watch it
straight.
That's something.
That's not bad.
Can I see that little devil for a second?
Well, be careful.
His little costume
How
there.
do you like that?
That is really
Huh?
great.
You know, I trained him for 15 years.
You're putting me on.
And he can do a soft shoe on a tightrope. How
That's
about
great.
that?
That's got to be the greatest thing I've ever...
Well, that was one. Let's see what they can do with another object.
Pardon me. Fourscore. And...
7.
Seven.
Score on 7.
7 years ago, our fathers set forth on this
Continent.
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 Good. A new nation, conceived in
Liberty.
liberty. Very good. Liberty, and dedicated to the proposition that all men are the same.
Are created equal.
Very good. Excellent. Are created equal. Now we are engaged.
Oh, Abe.
Okay, let's try just one more. Let's see what the next option is.
Well, Schmidlap, you finally graduated from the Mazursky School of Physical Development. I've got to hand it to you. Schmidlap, put it there. You've got to be one of the greatest men that we've ever had here at the Mazursky School, and I want you to know that we're proud to send you out into the world of physical education with a Mazursky background, boy. I want to tell you, it's a great thrill. And to show you our great gratitude, I present you with this official Mazursky whistle, which you now can go out and teach physical education with greatness, and the honor, which, of course, goes along with a diploma from the Mazursky School.
All right, you fellas, let's do some jumping jacks. Ready?
Okay, back to Commedia Dell'Arte. I mentioned earlier the similarity in Commedia to the Roman comedy of more than 1,000 years earlier. Compare this scene of 17th century Commedia with a 3rd century terracotta figure of a Roman comedian. Notice the similarity. There were certain other basic similarities. The use of masks, dancing, singing, mime, physical comedy, the storyline, the use of stock characters. The themes were generally 3 in number. They were serious, although they never attained tragic levels, because there was constant interruption by the comedians. The pastoral, often set on an island or in the woods, wilderness, using shepherds as characters. There were often magic transformations in this scene. Finally, the comic scenes dealing with love and comedy. Let's take a look at some of the stock types of Commedia. We had the young lovers, male and also female. Very often there were 2 pairs. Then we have the